See what we're rolling into next. Oh my god, you can't find your notes. Oh my god. So yeah, let's see. AEW Revolution. There we go. Let's do that one. Lord. AEW Revolution. And we started off with Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers versus the Varsity Athletes and Arya Davari. Mark Briscoe with a blockbuster on the outside. Wheelbarrow DDT by Penta. Woods with a corkscrew brainbuster. That was pretty sick. Love the way that looked. Redneck Kung Fu by Mark. 450 Splash by Tony Nese. Gets a very good near fall. Angle Slam Neckbreaker combo. Mark kicks out. That's their finisher right there. Mark ends up fighting back. Hits the Froggy Bone for the win. Always good to see Briscoe on TV. And Lucha Bros getting the win is always good. I started off here with Jericho versus Ricky Staggs. They started chop battle to start it off. Jericho misses a lion salt. Jericho hits the butterfly backbreaker though. Shouts out to his old moveset. Tornado DDT here by Ricky. Jericho with a Death Valley Driver. Such a weird image, by the way. We get a code breaker, but Ricky kicks out. Spear by Ricky. Jericho kicks out. We get the Waltz of Jericho. And then Jericho uses the bat. But freaking it is not enough. Ricky hits the Rochambeau and wins cleanly. I was very happy and very surprised with that. Jericho does have a losing streak at Revolution, though. I mean, these Jericho feuds are very, I know everyone is always hating on Jericho's feuds. They're too long, blah, blah, blah. Personally, I love the Ring of Jericho stuff. I thought that's the best shit he's done in a long time. You know, the stuff with MJF was too long, but it was still good. I don't know, a lot of people just shit on Jericho. I love the fucking Lionheart coming back, and people seem to forget all the banger matches he was having as Lionheart and the Ring of Jericho. It just sucks that everyone's always shitting on Jericho these days, but I thought this has been a fun feud, and Jericho put him over twice in a row, and we end it here. Christian versus Jungle Boy. Christian Cage, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Buried Alive match here. This match started as a no DQ match, but then it turned into a Buried Alive match. Big animosity between these guys, so this was good shit. They go right at it. Christian was running away, but then he gets the advantage. We get a suicide dive by Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy ends up slamming his back on the steel steps. Christian hits Jungle Boy with his own belt. Jungle Boy dives off the stage. Low blow by Christian, and then Christian is trying to escape, and he throws dirt in the eye. Got some dirt in your eye. It's a Jungle Boy. Unprettier on the dirt on the stage. Freaking snare trap. And then with the shovel, Concerto by Jungle Boy. He finally gets the balls to do it, and Jungle Boy wins. He shuts the casket, and the casket falls down. I was like, what the hell? I was like, where'd it go? But this was fun. I was looking forward to this a lot. The Elite versus the House of Black for the Trios Championships. Been looking forward to this all night. Springboard X Factor by the Young Bucks, then a day dive. Rise of the Terminator dive by Cody. Like I said, people were chanting holy shit at Kenny and just Aleister Black going at it, which is all I want. Even Buddy Murphy. We need Buddy Murphy and fucking Kenny Omega. We get a crossbody by Brody on the outside of Kenny. You can't escape, and then a pump kick to the back of Brody's head. A nasty clothesline by Brody to Kenny. Turns him inside out. Assisted sliced bread by Nick Jackson. Big knee exchange by Kenny and Malachi. Dragon Rush to Black. Dragon Rush to Brody. Dragon Rush to Buddy. V-trigger to Kenny to Julia, which I love his reaction. He hits Julia Hart with the V-trigger, and he kind of just goes, whatever, fuck it. Dante's Inferno, but Matt saves it. Brody with a dive, super kick party, triple super kick to Brody, BTE trigger, but Buddy saves it. Another Dante's Inferno, and we actually get new trios champions. Also, great spot here where, I think it was Nick Jackson goes for a dive, and Buddy just sticks his knee out, and legit looks like he kills him. It was fucking great. New champions. Perfect timing. They need it. Hopefully the House of Black can now go on a run, because these guys have been so fucking, awesome. They just do nothing with them. I'm just like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Do something with all these guys. Paige versus Jamie Hayter versus Ruby Soho for the AEW Women's World title. So they've been playing, hot potato here with Ruby joining their side and joining their side and joining their side. Ruby with a big drop kick to the outside. Uranagi on the apron to Paige by Jamie Hayter. STO by Ruby for a near fall. Double suplex by Jamie where she suplexed both of these girls. Paige Turner, but then Jamie with the Irish Curse backbreaker, or the hate breaker, that's what it is. Nasty clothesline by Jamie. Then a Rampage DDT by Paige. Ruby hits Destination Unknown. Rolls up Jamie. But then Jamie rolls her up for the win. Toni Storm attacks Jamie Hayter. And then Ruby ends up joining Team WWE, as I call it. Good stuff here. I'm happy that Ruby joined. I really wish they could get Athena, and then we would be rolling right now. But Jamie Hayter's been a fantastic champion. Again, I know I'm not really big into Paige's return. I feel like she's just been very lackluster and annoying. But I'm like, I guess she's doing her job, you know what I mean? This is a crazy match here, man. Hangman Page versus Jon Moxley, Texas Death, because, they can't say Texas Death Match for some reason. Hangman attacks Moxley in his entrance. Mox is busted open in the first 3 minutes of the match. Shocker. Barbed wire to his head. Mox ends up taking a fork and starts ripping apart Hangman's fucking forehead. Jesus Christ. Barbed wire chair right to Hangman's face. Single leg crab on the barbed wire chair, where basically his stomach is aiming downward. Barbed wire chair to the back of Hangman. Hangman with a power bomb on the barbed wire chair to Moxley. Barbed wire moon. This was so dumb. I love Hangman Page. I'm telling you, I do. He's a great guy, but fantastic wrestler. But he wraps himself in barbed wire and delivers a moonsault. But it takes him so long to wrap himself in barbed wire where it's not worth it. RKO by Moxley for a near fall. Mox with a brick and a chain. Stomp on the brick with Hangman's hand. A pile driver on the chains by Moxley. Regal stretch, and then the chains are all over Hangman over there. Hangman hits a couple of big clotheslines. Puts the barbed wire on his fist. Starts punching freaking Moxley. And then the rite of passage on the barbed wire chair. I really thought that was it. Moxley gets put through the barbed wire table. Hangman gets put through the barbed wire table himself from the top rope. King Kong lariat, Death Rider, curve stomp, and somehow Hangman keeps getting up. The rules of this match is weird. Usually a Texas Death Match is KO or 10 count knockout. You know what I mean? For some reason, the finish decided to add submissions to it. This should have won it. This should have been it, honestly. Come on. King Kong lariat, Death Rider, and then the curve stomp. Moxley is trying to choke Hangman. Low blow by Mox. Brick to the head of Moxley by Hangman. Buckshot lariat, then another buckshot lariat. And at the same time, Moxley had chains wrapped around him. When he gets lariated off the rope, he ends up hanging himself, which Hangman then hangs him. And Moxley does the visual submission, which I have never, ever seen this man tap out like that. So, I thought this was a crazy good match. Wardlow versus Samoa Joe, TNT title. Wardlow, this build has been stupid. So, Wardlow's first title run, trash. His momentum is down. He doesn't get to showcase all the great fucking moves he has. And all he does is stupid power bombs now. You don't have the Terminator knee, the F10. You don't have all the cool shit Wardlow used to do. So, they do this rematch. Wardlow goes right at him. Joe with a dive. Wardlow with the whisper in the wind. Joe with a sweep. Joe hits the ST Joe. We get an F5 by Wardlow for a near fall. Swanton bomb right after that for another near fall. Joe almost chokes Wardlow out. Wardlow powers out, but Death Valley driver by Joe. We get the Powerbomb Symphony. Nasty clothesline by Joe. And then we get I don't like this finish. So Wardlow just jumps on his back and starts choking Joe. Locks in the Coquina Clutch and then just chokes out Joe to his own finisher. But it was so anticlimactic. And Wardlow wins the title again, but then, shenanigans. But yeah, I don't like this feud. I didn't like this match. Wardlow is the fucking future world champion. This guy you should put all the money between. I don't know. I feel like they're just fucking pissing and farting around Wardlow. AEW Tag Team Champions here. The Gun Club versus Team TNA versus Orange Cassidy. Fucking in Danhausen, I think? I don't know. This match was stupid. I hated the teams that they picked for this match. Like, you have real tag teams, and you pick two not real tag teams. I don't know. Orange getting all his shit in, Tornado DDT, and then big dive to the outside. Lethal combination for a near fall. Scissor me timbers. God, I hate the name of that move. On Sanjay. Angle slam by Max Caster. I just love how he kept the angle slam to insult Jeff Jarrett. Danhausen tries to step up. Starts to step up to Sandman Singh. Famer throw to Sandman Singh. Double low blow to Billy Gunn. Mic drop. The stroke, but Max kicked out. 3D for the win. FTR come out to a big pop. So we're gonna get the FTR Gun Club match, or the Guns. I don't know what they call them anymore. Then a big fight breaks out, and somehow underneath his eye, Dax Harwood gets cut badly. Jesus Christ, there's just blood all over. And here we go. Here is probably my favorite match of the night. This match was awesome. 1 hour Iron Man match. MJF versus Bryan Danielson. Big fans of both these guys. Bryan has legit been my favorite wrestler for so long. Him and Seth Rollins. AEW World Title on the line. Bryan is treating MJF like he is nothing. MJF throws a drink on a kid, which he gets in a lot of trouble for later on. Arm drag to the turnbuckle by MJF. Dive by Bryan. MJF tosses him into the barricade. We get a Rampage DDT by MJF. Powerbomb by Bryan. We get a Frankensteiner by Bryan from the top rope. Powerbomb into the knee by MJF. Basically a one knee to Project Ciampa for a near fall. Made in Japan by MJF. We get a 5-minute pin exchange. We get a big clothesline by Bryan. Bukkake knee, and cleanly, no problem. 30 minutes in, Bryan gets the first fall. So it's 1-0. We get a low blow by MJF, and then MJF ends up pinning him twice off the low blow. So he picks up 2, but then gets a point, so it's 2-2 now. Crazy running drop kick on the outside. MJF says he hates Bryan, and then they get into a slap fight. MJF hits a beautiful Shawn Michaels elbow to the outside while Bryan is on a table through the table. That was really cool. Then he picks up Bryan, running tombstone through the table debris. That was sick. Heat Seeker Piledriver gets another win. It is 3-2. I love that the Heat Seeker got a win. It's such a great finish. MJF kills Bryan. He's busted open. Kills him with strikes. Bryan dives on the outside. Hits a spider suplex from the top rope. Flying headbutt by Bryan, almost gets it. Bukkake knee and then a regal stretch. MJF taps out. We are tied 3-3. Salt of the Earth armbar. They trade a bunch of submissions. Running elbow to the face is that Bryan just knocks him the fuck out. Heat Seeker, Bryan is out. Top rope tombstone by MJF, but MJF can't capitalize. We got a nasty leg lock by Bryan. There's 1 minute left. MJF hangs on and taps after the match ends. The match is a draw, 3-3. Then we go into sudden death overtime. Low blow by MJF, tries to steal it. Poison Rana by Bryan. Bukkake knee by MJF, kicks out. MJF gets his ring taken away. We got an oxygen tank there that they were doing, because the whole night MJF kept taking water breaks and basically doing like he doesn't have the stamina to do this. He hits Bryan with the oxygen tank, locks in the label lock, and Bryan taps out. That was the theme of this pay-per-view. Moxley tapped out, Samoa Joe tapped out, and Bryan tapped out. But overall, I thought this was a really, really fun show. Jericho and Ricky was fun. The Right Man went over. Christian Cage and Jungle Boy was really good. The Elite versus House of Black was probably my second favorite match. The women's match was decent, but it could have been better. Hangman and Mox was a really, really, really good match. Not my style. I don't really like the plunder and the debris, but I thought it was fantastic. Wardlow and Joe sucked. That was a bummer, because I love both those guys. I'm a big fan of both those guys. Tag team title match sucked, but the main event was fan-diddly-tastic. Great stuff.